Hey gamers, today we're going to look at Royal Palace. Let's check it out. Alright, to set the game, what you're going to do is you're going to put out this little board here, put all these little noble tiles and just randomly select them anywhere. You do have extra noble tiles, so the same nobles will not be coming out every each game. Each player will start with a bag of people here. Second player gets 1 coin, third player gets 2 coins, third player gets 3 coins. You'll also shuffle these little tiles, as you see there, and then you will put 2 of your men right here on the grounds here, and then 3 of your men on the staircase there. Now after that, you'll each have 5 men where you can put anywhere you want on the board. So after everyone has placed out their 5 servants in the other areas, then you're ready to play. Gameplay is very simple. What you're doing is, first off, you're bringing as many of your people from your little general supply that are equal to the number here on the fairgrounds. As you see here, it says, hey, how many people you have? That's how many people you're going to put at the front gate. Now, these tiles, you do shuffle them around, so every game you'll have a different 3x3 game, so the games will always be different. So in this case, I would have 2. So I'd bring out 2 of my people and put them on the front gate. Whenever you see a wreath, that means majority. It has a majority bonus. If you have a majority there, you would get to put out a +1. So for instance, if I had had a third guy there, I could not only bring out 3, but actually 4 I could bring into the gates here. Now these would always be here, but I'd bring out 2 more in that case if I had 3 there. If not though, I only get as many as servants as I have on the grounds that come into the gate. Now after that, then you move to the second step, which is looking at the staircase. The staircase gives you movements, and movements are orthogonally, not diagonal. You can't go diagonal, but you move orthogonally around the palace. And of course, again, you have as many movements as you have people on the staircase. So in this case, I have 3. But once again, you see that little wreath there that says, hey, if you have majority, you get a +1 bonus. So again, if I had 4 yellows there, not only would I move 4 movement points, but I'd actually get a 5th one as well. So it's always good to have majorities everywhere. So then you would move them around the board, as many actions as you have. You can move the same servant twice or 3 times or 1 each if you have more than 1, and you'll just move them around the board. Now, what do these tiles do? Well, first off, there's this tile, which is the back door. This is one of the few tiles here, I think it's just this one and that one. Whenever you utilize it, you remove a man from the palace here. So this servant would be removed. That's only if you picked one of these cards. What you do is, as many people as you have here, you would get that many cards to look at. So let's see, I drew 3 cards. These cards can be bonuses. They can be extra victory points. They can also be coins as well. Sometimes there is a cost value to play them. So this would be 1 coin, 1 coin. These are free here. And what you would do, and let's say, I don't know, let's just say these were the 3 I had. All right, these are the 3 I picked. If I wanted all 3, I could keep them if I wanted to, but then I'd have to remove all 3 of my people off the board and back into my own player pool. They'd exit the palace. If I only wanted to keep 1, maybe this +5 movement, that'd be good. Or maybe these 2 victory points for later, that'd be good. Well, then this one would go to the bottom of the stack, and then these 2 would be removed, and this guy would just stay there because I kept 2 cards in my hand. So that's kind of how the special bonus cards work there. What this one does, this is the cardinal. This one breaks ties. So if you see, red and yellow are here, so that's no good. But let's say that yellow wasn't there, it was just red. Well, in this case, red would have majority here where there's a tie. They'd have majority here where there's a tie. They'd have majority here where there's a tie. So you can see how this can become, and they'd have majority here. If they need, well, that doesn't have a wreath by it, so that's no majority there, excuse me. They'd only have majority there as well. So that's pretty good to have the cardinal's favor there, because you're breaking all ties and getting that extra bonus. The other ones are very simple. The mint over here collects coins. When you utilize that, you get as many coins as you have servants in that area. Of course, you do get a bonus if you have a majority or you're breaking ties. So in this case, if green were to activate it, they get 1 coin. If red were to activate it, they get 2 because they're breaking the tie there and they got majority rules. So that's the coins there. This one gives you blue seals. Seeing the king, seeing the queen gives you purple seals. Of course, there are majorities there as well. And then right here is where you go out into the garden and go grab nobles. And this is probably what you'll do at the end of your turn if you have anyone here and you have the enough seals and money to purchase someone. All you'd have to do is take your guy, and this is the other one that removes him from the palace, and then you could take one of the nobles anywhere you wanted. So for instance, let's say I wanted to take this guy here. I'd place my little servant right there in that spot, and then I'd look at it. Okay, it costs 2 coin. Let's say I had 2 coin. I'd pay my 2 coin, and then it costs 2 purple seals. Well, I have my purple seals right there. Yaha. So after that, then I would get a +2 in movement. Yay, that gives me a special bonus and 2 victory points. Some of these give you extra victory points, like this one. It lets you move diagonally, which is really nice. Let's see, there's another one that gives you a +2 of people at the gate there. And then there are just some, they don't give you any bonuses, they just give you some bigger victory points. So some of them actually also give you extra servants as well. But anyway, so what you're doing is you're going around trying to get the favor of the king and the queen, and trying to get, of course, some money there, and then, of course, purchase these nobles. And one quick thing I forgot to mention, when you are purchasing nobles, you're going to remove that amount of people from either the king or queen's room, however many seals that you needed for that purchase of the noble. Now, the game ends when there are 12 or less nobles here out in the garden. If that happens, you finish out the round and then you do final scoring. Final scoring is adding up all the victory points of the nobles that you have collected, any victory points from cards you may have received from this deck, and then also then you have a majority on each one of the edges of the garden. So each one of these fountains here, or statues, you're going to add up. First place would get 6 victory points. Second place would get 2. If there's a tie, both players would get 2 points. I will mention this makes the outside areas more valuable to certain players because they want to get that majority there. Also, these ones on the edge outside of kind of the garden, those are really nice to get because there are ×2 in that area. So if I have one person there, he counts as 2. So you add up the majorities. There's nothing for you if you want the middle, though. And then, of course, whoever has the most victory points wins. Final thoughts. What do I think about the game? Well, I've been looking at this game on and off for a few years. I found it for a really good deal and I decided to get it. The game is pretty much fun. I like there's a lot of variety in it. You can change the game up a whole lot with the different tiles that you'll be going for. You won't be always going for the same tiles because sometimes those tiles will not be there. And of course, where the tiles in the palace are, they'll always switch up and you'll always be moving different areas. Sometimes it's very convenient for good combos. Sometimes it's very inconvenient. You're like, oh man. It is nice that you have to decide which nobles you want to get. Do you go for the big point ones or do you go for the small point ones? You can go for the big point ones, make 9 victory points right off the bat. But then someone who bought 3 other ones to get to 9 to tie you, now they have the ability to move, add people to the gate, move extra spaces, and move diagonally. That's just too powerful there. So you want a good balance. You probably want some of the secret powers or the little superpowers first, and then later on get the big ones last. But you also want to get the ones on the corners on the outside as well. I mean, so I do like that. There is some different strategies, I guess you could have in the game. The game is kind of rinse and repeat, though, I will be honest. You're always trying to get servants in there to make your big moves, and then you make your big move, remove everyone from the kings and queens corners, and then of course you start back up again trying to get influence everywhere. I get it, but a lot of people complain, what's the theme of this? Why are the servants doing this? Why are they smoozing up to everyone just to grab one of the nobles and then run out of the palace going, woohoo, we did it. Okay, let's sneak back in and get another noble. I don't know, man, but the artwork is beautiful. I do enjoy the gameplay. I think it's fun. You can get this game for pretty cheap. If this game was worth a lot of money, I'd say no, pass on it. But it is a pretty cheap game. It's pretty fun to play. It doesn't matter what the theme is, I guess. It's just pretty fun to play. I do find it odd that it's just a weird theme. Other than that, fun game, glad I have it. All right, gamers, that's all the time I have for now. Until next time, you know what to do. Game on!